So just in case you had any doubt that everything is going against us this season, this happens. Tottenham have won a game in the Premier League. Let me say this again. For the first time this calendar year, we have won a game in the Premier League. Listen, it was a scrappy 1-0 victory against an already relegated Wolves, but this was never the time to implement any incisive intricacies in possession. But we got our 3 points, and honestly, anything less than those 3 genuinely felt like a guaranteed relegation. And of course, it was not simple. But at Tottenham, we don't get simple. But luckily, at the Spurs Express, we do get to talk about the game after, so here's 3 talking points that I'd like to bring up. Late last night, Xavi Simons announced on his social media that his season is finished. His ACL's done and he's not even going to appear in the World Cup either. You know, that Xavi Simons that finally started to look like the player that we all thought we signed? That Xavi Simons that De Zerbi outed as a key to our survival? Yeah, him. Because when De Zerbi came to the club, he signalled Simons, Romero, Solanke and Kudus as being key components of how he wants to set up and how he wants to play. De Zerbi's been at the club less than a month, and I'm just checking, are any one of those 4 players available for his next game? So just in case you had any doubt that everything is going against us this season, this happens. And look, I don't want to get all Arsenal about things, but between the injuries, the dodgy decisions, and every team around us suddenly turning into prime Barcelona, there is something weird going on. Or we are just finally feeling that delayed punishment of years of mismanagement and complete neglect. With Xavi sidelined, I really think we're going to struggle to score. We look allergic to creating chances anyway, and he was that one light in the tunnel. Turns out that light is an oncoming train coming at about 400 miles an hour. I think our only saving grace, the only player to add a little bit of attacking flair, is Matisse Tel. His cameo against Wolves is really promising, and without his tenacity we don't win that corner, we definitely don't score there, and we probably don't pick up all 3 points. Also, and say this very quietly, but I think we might have all been a little bit too harsh on the Bentancur Palhinha pivot. Look, it's far from ideal, and I think Palhinha really represents that lack of ambition and transfer know-how from the board. But when you look at most of the games we've won, it seems to be those 2 in midfield. Against Wolves, Palhinha popped up with another important goal, and look, it isn't pretty. But right now, I would take goals from anywhere. I don't care if a streaker run onto the pitch and slotted it bottom corner. It being the ball, by the way. We are all too aware of the lack of central progression and passing range and ability from our midfield this season, but since coming back into the side, Bentancur's numbers have been steadily improving, and he looks way more comfortable controlling the ball on this side. So it feels way too easy to just reduce it to Thomas Frank, but maybe it just was the system and the one-dimensional coaching. I guess if I had to pick my starting 11 for the Villa game next Sunday, it'd look a little bit like this. I don't love Kolomuani out wide, but who else is going to play there? Matisse Tel, as I say, our only sort of bit of flair off the left. I don't love Richarlison up front, but I think Gallagher's done enough to hold that 10 position over Bergvall. Bergvall obviously coming off the bench and can probably cover each of the positions in the midfield. Maybe. But the main point being how hard this month of May is going to be. I have never seen an injury crisis like this, so the funny thing about being a Tottenham fan is you learn quite early on that there is no greater motivation in the footballing world than there is to embarrass Tottenham. You also realise quite early that when it rains, it absolutely pours. Because right now we are in a relegation scrap with West Ham, Nottingham Forest and Leeds, all of which have looked bad this season, and there's been points where they look destined for the drop.
But what's that? Tottenham are in a relegation scrap with us, yeah?
Alright, then let's all just turn into prime Real Madrid for a laugh, shall we? That's good. Thanks. In their last 15 combined games, there has been 1 loss. 3 teams, 15 games, 1 loss. How is this possible? We are literally fighting relegation candidates who are in title-winning form. And I'm obviously not actually saying that these have suddenly just become amazing because Tottenham are down there, because of course they all want to stay up for their own sake. But there is 1,000,000%, even if it's subconsciously, an extra motivation to send Tottenham down. And none of this excuses how horrific we have been this season. But it would be very, very, very Tottenham Hotspur to be relegated with the most amount of points ever.